Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I hope everything is going well in your world. Today's presentation and this week really is all about um, the other aspects of health besides training and besides nutrition. We're not going to focus as much on either of those topics this week, although it does play a role in everything that we're talking about. Okay. Today, I am talking about mental models of building habits, and most of this is based on the book of Atomic Habits by James Clear. One of the best books out there, in my opinion, probably the best book when it comes to teaching you how to mentally figure out how to build habits for yourself. It's an absolutely fantastic book. I highly recommend it to anyone. And here, actually, at Iron Habits, I like to talk through some of the chapters and assign actually homework assignments to my clients based on the book because I believe in it that much. It's absolutely phenomenal book. But anyways, to today's information. Okay, this is a quote from James Clear from the book. It's something that I try to keep in mind often. Now, this is not James Clear on the left. That's me. But the quality of our habits determines the quality of our lives. Now, keep that in mind. The quality of your habits determines the quality of your life. Okay. So overall, here's what we're thinking. Okay. Our mindset is that tiny changes, many of them day in and day out and day in and day out, repeated ad nauseum for years, okay, lead to huge results in the end. Okay. It's that 1% trajectory change, that 1 degree trajectory change, but over thousands of miles. Okay, if you start in the same location as somebody else, but you turn 1 degree away from them, sure, after 100 feet, 200 feet, you're not going to be that far apart. But after miles and miles and miles, you guys will be miles and miles apart. Okay, you're not running parallel. Okay, so making a tiny little 1 degree improvement for yourself or 1% improvement for yourself has huge benefits. Habits, for this reason, lag in time in terms of their outcomes. They start slow, but by the end of it, that compounding effect, that getting 1% better, still at the end of the road, is where you see just this enormous difference between some people and others. This also means that there is what's called a critical threshold. There is a spot, okay, there's a spot where it looks like nothing has happened, and then you take one more step further and you've passed into, wow, what a difference, what a change. And two examples from the book that I really love and I use in my daily practice and I use with kids and I use with people all the time. First one is the bamboo tree. Okay, and some of you might even already know where I'm going with this. Okay, but bamboo trees often can take up to 5 years to plant their roots. Okay, but a farmer who plants a bamboo tree, they have to think about planting that bamboo tree and watering that bamboo tree every day, all the same, although there's nothing on the surface to show for it. They can go years and years and years, and they just have to have faith that this thing is doing what it needs to do. Okay, while there's no change on the surface, okay, pouring that water day in and day out allows the bamboo tree to dig these deep, wide roots. And then eventually, when the bamboo tree finally decides to crack, it takes about 6 weeks and it'll grow over 100 feet tall. And it's one of the strongest trees out there. It's one of the most versatile trees out there, has many different human uses to it at this point. The other example I want you to think about is ice melting. Okay, ice at 20 degrees and 21 degrees and 22 degrees, all the way up to 31 degrees, you see no change. Nothing's happening. This ice isn't melting. But the moment it hits 32, what happens? It becomes water. Okay? It starts to melt. And you have to think of your habits in that same way. Habits are going to lag in time, but there is this critical point where all of a sudden it's like everything locks in, everything fits in. Okay, that's got to be your mindset. Even if you struggle early, you cannot give up. You can't give up. If you give up, you'll lose all the work that you've done, and all the work that you've done maybe hasn't shown the results that you want yet, but it's laying down the foundation. Okay? It's laying down those roots. It's rising in temperature inside of you all the time. Okay. Oops, I don't know why I moved myself over. But anyways, when it comes to goal setting is a tremendously important part of habits because of the direction they give you. And I always tell people to write down what are called SMART goals. Okay, SMART goals. Okay, if you don't know what SMART goals are, Google them. All right, Google them because it's a pretty. I'll just go through it real quick. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time sensitive. Meaning, it's a goal that is absolutely you can't miss. It can't be something like I want to lose fat. No. It needs to be I want to lose this many pounds. Okay, specific and measurable. I want to lose X amount of pounds. Achievable, 10 pounds within 8 weeks. Okay, no 10 pounds in one day type stuff. Relevant to like your actual life. Okay, something that you actually want, and time sensitive. That 10 weeks portion, that achievable and that time sensitive portion play in heavy together. But another non-example would be something like I want to deadlift, 10,000 pounds in 10 years. Well, no one can do that. No one can deadlift 10,000 pounds. So sorry. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's specific, measurable, and has a time onto it, and it's relevant to my goals to be a strong deadlifter. Okay, but anyways, what makes the difference between winners and losers will be their systems. Okay, systems you work in from the goal. It's kind of like in teaching how you think about what you want the kids to know ahead of time. And then you work back from basically like where a test would be or a project would be, and you work back in your planning to see how can I get there. Okay, you need to do the same with your goals. Set a goal. This is what I want to achieve, and work backwards at what systems will allow me to get there. If you focus on what you're doing in your system day in and day out, the results come. The results come because your system is perfected. Okay, and this is a great point from the book too. Winners and losers always have the same goal. Okay, but the winners are the ones with the better systems. Losers have crappy systems. You watch college football, ain't nobody on there who wants to lose. But everybody, or not everybody, has the same system, and that's what makes the difference. The reason Alabama is phenomenal is because the day after they win the national championship, Nick Saban is back on the plane going for recruits. Okay, it's a system. It's not an accident. Okay, it's a habit. He has a habit of hustling and achieving. He doesn't feel right when he's sitting one out. Another important concept from the book, okay, is your identity. How you change your identity is really, changing your identity is really how you change a lot of your outcomes as well. Okay, your self-image is going to play a huge role in what you do because your pride's going to get in the way. The reason why I've been saying to you guys ad nauseum here, calling you athletes of aging, is I want you to really think about that. I want you to take on the role of somebody who is an athlete at aging. Take on the seriousness to your health that an athlete would take on to their training for the Olympics or for an NFL game or for an NBA game. You got to be an athlete of aging. How do I want to get my body set to age properly? Okay. Clear gives this example in the book. Example of somebody saying, "Do you want a cigarette?" And you responding, "Oh, I'm not a smoker," versus, "Oh, I'm trying to quit." When a smoker makes the change from "I'm trying to quit" to "I'm not a smoker anymore," it's an identity change. I am not a smoker. I am not going to do that. And you've involved your pride at that point because it's who you are. You don't go back on who you are. And that is so important to understand. Next thing, okay, you need to win the majority of your battles for the identity to change. You don't need to be perfect. Okay? I'm coaching you guys in this group. I still have slip-ups. I still have days where I fall apart, where I don't train as hard as I should have, where I don't do things to recover as well as I should. I don't take care of my diet as well as I should have. But you bet I win the majority of my battles. And at this point, I win a good majority. I'm the 95% on that one now. But it started off as like 70-30. It started off as like 60-40. And I built myself up and I gave myself evidence over time. And this goes back to your systems. How can you set yourself up day in and day out to get wins, to get small wins? You don't need big wins every day. You need small wins every day. You need big wins once in a while. But you need small wins every day. You need to win the majority. Okay? You won't always win the war on the big days, the big battles. Okay? But you can win the small battles each and every day. And those accumulate over time. That'll change your identity real quick. I love this quote. This is another quote from Clear's book. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes your behaviors. So when I'm talking about how can you set yourself up, I'm talking about creating your environment, curating your environment for you. Here are the 4 habit laws that he talks about in the book that is really the template for how you can make something a habit. But the first one that I'm going to speak to is just this number 1, which is make it obvious. Now, they're all make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy. Oops, I put make it obvious on there twice. Last one is actually make it rewarding. I messed that up. Man, I'm gonna fix this right now. That's gonna bug me. Make it rewarding. Goodness gracious. Thought I had proofread this thing like crazy. Going too fast. Sorry, guys. I make mistakes, but I'm gonna win the majority of my battles. Anyways, I'm gonna focus on the making it obvious and part on the make it easy here. Okay, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about make it attractive, talk a little bit about make it rewarding, but mostly the obvious. Okay, this week's task is all about setting up your sleep routine. Okay, that's your community goal for this week. Your community goal is to get sleep. So I really want you to think about that. One tip for that is just to eliminate screens before bed. That's huge. Eliminating screens about an hour before bed will help you fall asleep faster. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Doing something else that winds you down, especially if you can do it 3 or 4 nights in a row. You'll notice instantly. But here's how you can view sleep through this lens of make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it rewarding. Okay, making it obvious. Put the book that you want to read on your bed. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to turn on to Netflix. I'm supposed to read this book because it's sitting right there. It's on your pillow. Can't miss it. Make it attractive. Choose a book that you're going to enjoy. A book you and your spouse can read together. I personally have benefited from that one. Or a book that's going to help you reach your goals. I've also personally benefited from that one. Those are books that I enjoy though, as well. But that's an attractive quality in a book. Man, cozying up under my covers, reading a book with my significant other. That's important. That's attractive to me. Okay, make it easy. I mean, it's on your pillow, so how much easier could it get? It's sitting right there. Okay, it's sitting there. It's within reach. And you just set it on your nightstand, put it back on your pillow when you get up. Easy. And then make it rewarding. For every book you finish, give yourself some sort of reward, but that reward can't derail you from your goals. Okay? Maybe you buy yourself a new book. Every book you finish, you get a brand new one right after. And that's awesome. Maybe you get a new blanket because, hey, I earned this blanket. This heated blanket. Maybe after you finish that book, you buy yourself blackout curtains. That also helps reinforce your sleep goal. Because again, this is about sleep. Buy things that reinforce the goal that you're trying to achieve. If somebody's system is something like, all right, I'm gonna bust my butt on my diet, and so at the end of the week, to reward myself, I'm gonna get a pizza from Little Caesars and I'll eat the whole thing. Well, you just undid a whole lot of what you want to do, and you're also telling your brain your reward is the thing that you're trying to avoid. So how much are you damaging yourself? How much are you fighting your own psyche if the thing that you're trying to stop yourself from doing, you also associate as the reward? It doesn't make any sense. Your reward needs to reinforce your goal. Okay? This is a mental model of building habits. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it rewarding for some goal that you're trying to set out. And I kind of prescribe to you the goal of targeting your sleep this week. But you could do that with anything. You can do it with your exercise routines by buying yourself new exercise stuff, a nice new gym membership. Maybe it's the new swimsuit you wanted to get. Okay, something that makes you attracted to and rewarded by, and feel rewarded for your work. Okay, make going to the gym a little more obvious. Okay, one way you could do that, putting your gym bag at your door. That also makes it easy. Okay, put it right outside your door. Right? Have a gym partner, okay, who's texting you, who you're going with. That makes it easier, right? There are a lot of ways for you to use this mental model to build something good for yourself. Okay. If you want a more in-depth look at this, get some coaching. Go to ironhabits.com and hire me. So I'll help you out. I'll go through all this stuff. Having a coach is going to keep you accountable and going to keep you consistent. Going online is also a cheaper way to have a coach, and it's more convenient. Okay, so you get all the benefits of having an in-person coach, but the convenience of doing it at your own pace. How wonderful is that? And you save a buck or two. What's not to love? What's not to love? When you go to ironhabits.com, you get personalized programming, weekly Zoom meetings, nutrition and habit coaching. Okay? Health is not an accident. It is the product of our habits. So if you want to build great habits, you can do that at ironhabits.com. And that's me, Jordan Van Dyke, teacher, coach, personal trainer. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. If you need to talk to me, these are the best avenues to do it. Jordan at ironhabits.com is the email inbox. At ironhabits on Instagram. You can hit the DMs. You can comment, whatever. Facebook.com/groups/ironhabits. That's all for today. I really, really enjoyed this topic. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'm here for you. Have a great one.